Good morning, everybody. It is the 5th of June. It's a Friday. Somehow Fridays mornings just always feel good, don't you think? End of the week, ready for the weekend. So welcome to your Friday morning workout, or just your Friday workout if you're doing it later in the day. Today we have a 12-minute AMRAP. So 12 minutes of as many reps or as many rounds as possible. And we are doing 10 20-meter shuttle runs. You're doing 20 shoulder plank taps. We're doing 24 air squats, and we're doing 20 plank ankle taps. Okay, so the stimulus for today that we're looking for, we're going to get the heart rate up going, some cardiovascular stimulus for those shuttle runs, so provided you run hard enough. Give you a slight breather as we do some midline stability and some shoulder stability as we do some shoulder taps, core working. Air squats will get the legs going and the lungs going again. Plank ankle taps, again, shoulder plank position, or in a plank position doing ankle taps, okay, or foot taps. So run, cardiovascular work, midline, core work, leg work, lungs, plank, midline work. Okay. Scaling for today, shuttle runs. If you can't run, or if you can't run too much, you can reduce the reps in total, so the total amount of reps, or you can skip if you're not going to be running. The plank shoulder taps we'll either do in a plank position, full plank position, which we'll show you now. Can reduce that to a kneeling position. Air squats we can reduce the reps. Plank shoulder taps, we can do a reach through stretch, which I'll show you as we're going to do. Okay, let's have a look, see what that looks like. So for our shuttle runs, make sure you've got your area run out. You can either do a 200-meter run if you just want to run for 200 meters there and back, or 100 meters there, 100 meters back, you can. If you're going to do 20-meter shuttle runs, do that. If you're going to skip, you're skipping, right? Then onto your shoulder plank tap. So what we're looking for, nice strong plank position. So you're looking for a tall plank position. Shoulder blades are set back, so again, we're stabilizing through the shoulder girdle there. Chin is tucked up and in, rib cage is connected, stomach nice and tight so the work's not in the lower back. Okay, so press to the shoulders back, chin pulled up, lower tummy tucked in. And then what you need to do is, if your feet are too narrow, you're going to notice that your body's going to rock too much. Okay, so what I want you to do is take your feet a little bit wider. Try and keep this midline as still as possible, so that when you lift your hand, what you're trying to do is you're engaging into these obliques, trying to keep your body as still as possible without the rocking from side to side. So from there, stomach touch and tucked in, touch, touch, touch. Keep the stomach tight. Don't let that bum wobble from side to side. Keep it tight. Squeeze the glutes together. Touch, touch, touch. And you're going to do how many? 20 in total. That's 10 each side. Stomach working, shoulder blades back nice and tight. From that, we're going to go into 24 air squats. So your air squats, feet shoulder width apart, slight turn out in the feet, hips pressing back, up, one, stomach tight, 2, 3, 24 squats. If you need to reduce the reps for your scaling, remember to reduce the reps. If you need to reduce the height so you don't go as deep, then go halfway down. Hips press back, make sure you're not falling backwards, but also don't want to see you falling to your knees. Hips are back, good squat position, pressing to the heels, and the hips are doing the work. That's your air squats, and then your 20 plank shoulder taps. So back into that same plank position, but this time your feet are together. Shoulder blades back, scapulas engaged, chin tucked up, lower tummy in, and now again without that lower back arching, stomach tight hold, 1, 2, 3, keep the foot to the middle, chin tucked in, stabilize the shoulders, and you're alternating legs, but you've got to keep that core as strong as possible. Every time your feet come back to the middle, tighten up into your core, tuck in the tummy, lift the leg, back to the floor, tighten up, correct your position. Other leg lift, back down, correct your position. Other leg lift, back down, correct your position. The more you can sit and focus on correcting your position, the more work you're going to get out of your midline for that little piece of work. Okay, and that's it. Doing that 12 minutes and as many rounds of that as you can in 12 minutes. That's your workout. If you need a little bit more warm-up briefing, we've got project inverted number 3 today, so stick around with us. Let's go through the warm-up. Okay guys, so we have the warm-up for today. We're going to spend 5 minutes getting warm, jumping jacks, sideways, forwards, go for a run around the block, skip for 5 minutes. Okay, get that heart rate up. Then, we've got a nice little shoulder burner that we're going to take you through. The shoulder burner is going to get your shoulders nice and warm. It's also going to prepare you for some of that upside down work that we're doing for that project inverted number 3 today. So the shoulder burner, what we're going to do is we're going to do 40 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. The 40 seconds of work, we're going to do 40 seconds of kickbacks, and then we do 40 seconds of plank, get up, get downs, 15 seconds rest. Then we do 30 seconds of kickbacks, 30 seconds of plank, get up, get downs, 15 seconds rest. 15 seconds work, 15 seconds rest, 15 seconds work, 15 seconds rest of the last little bit. Okay, so it's going to look like this. 40 seconds of kickbacks. Okay, it's going to get your heart rate up. It's going to get your shoulders nice and warm. 3, 2, 1, and go. Stomach tight. Hup. 1, hup. 2, hup. 3, and you're going for 40 seconds. The clock is going on the floor. Rest 15 seconds. Next one is plank, get up, get downs. Make sure you've got a little mat, something for your elbows. 15 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and press, press. 1, press, press. Stomach stays nice and tight. 2, you can engage the core so the work doesn't go into the back, doesn't go into the shoulders. And I'm pressing through the arms. 40 seconds of work. Rest. Okay, guys, so scaling options for your get up, get downs. Some of you, if the shoulder's a little bit tight, you may find that this pressing through the short range of movement on the press as you push from your elbow to your hand is a little bit jammy in the shoulder. So an option is either just to do a straight plank. You can do the elbows, just a straight pull. You're going to pull the elbows in. What you can do is you just do a walking plank on the elbows, okay, which will still get the shoulder girdle too far. So lower tummy tucked in, pull those elbows in. Walking elbows, so like a walking plank, we call it. And if that's too much for the elbows, just hold in this position, stomach tight, plank. And try and hold that plank for the full first round of 40 seconds, okay? If your shoulders, if your hands don't like being, if your shoulders don't like being on your elbows, you can also do what we call a tall plank. And you're just gonna hold the tall plank for the full 40 seconds. Okay, then we go into 30 seconds, second round, 30 seconds of kickbacks. Up. 1, stomach tight. 30 seconds of kickbacks, 15 seconds rest, back into the floor, 30 seconds of get up, get down, stomach nice and tight, or just holding in a plank or walking plank. Rest 15 seconds, last round, 15 seconds, kickbacks, rest 15 seconds of walking plank or shoulder taps. Okay, that's your first little part of the shoulder burner. That should get your shoulders pretty warm for this project inverted. What we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of mobility work for this overhead work. So before we get into this project inverted, we're just going to do a little bit of a push back. So hands are going to park on the floor. What we're going to do is just going to push back, and I'm trying to get as much work into the shoulders, overhead position, and just stretch through the shoulders. Okay, you may find, depending on how tight you are, depends on how far in that overhead position you get. And then the second little one, elbow on the floor, reach one on forward, and then just gently push aside. So I don't want to drop too far. If you drop the body too far overhead, you're going to feel a lot of work into this part of the shoulder, which we want to try and avoid. So from there, elbows in, I'm just going to press to the side, and just an easy stretch. And as you push to the side, you're going to feel this is going to stretch to the side, yeah. Back to middle, easy stretch. Do 5 or 10 mobilizations there. Other side, press, 1. Press the shoulders, 2. It's a really nice little easy stretch. You don't have to overdo it. Okay. Gentle stretch, gentle mobilizations, particularly if you have some niggly shoulders. Okay, that's a little bit of mobility. Then we have got project inverted session number 3. So session number 3 is building on what we did. I think session number 1, I think it was. Okay, so session number 1, it was a reverse Tabata. We did 10 seconds of work with 20 seconds of rest. Today we're doing 20 seconds of work with 10 seconds rest. So we're going to do 20 seconds of handstand hold. We're either going to hold in a handstand, or you're going to hold in a pike, or you hold in some kind of a plank position, 10 seconds rest. So we're increasing our work capacity, we're decreasing our rest. If you need to scale this, you can still scale down your time. If you find that you can't hold it 20 seconds yet, scale it down to 15 seconds, scale it down to 10. If you need to increase your rest time, you can increase your rest time as well. Okay, so it really is variable depending on your level of strength. And we're going to be doing 6 rounds in total. So first one, handstand. It's going to start in a pike position. So we're going to do a push back. Right, so same as we did for our mobility, we're going to start with the feet on the floor. And the first position, you're just going to do a press back, press, aiming to hold, for 20 seconds. And then we're going to release. Rest for 10 seconds. And again, pressing back. Press back to the shoulders. Hold. Okay, if you can't do 20 seconds, do 10 seconds. If you can do 20 seconds, do 20 seconds. That would be enough, and you do 6 rounds in that pike position. If you're going to do a little bit more advanced, then you're going to take your feet up a wall or up a door or something. So make sure you use something that the wife or the husband's not going to complain too much. Okay, and make sure you're not leaving any marks on the wall. From there, hands up, feet up, press back, push through the shoulders as much as you can, stomach tight. Press, press, press. Okay, hips up in the air. Your hips are trying to get over the top of the shoulders as much as possible. So the more your hips go over the top of the shoulders, the more the work there is into that shoulder girdle. And I'm pressing out and I'm holding. And what I'm looking for, right, is that work in the lockout position. So often people will end with their elbows still bent. You've got to focus on locking that elbow out. And you've got to focus on pressing from the shoulder blades. This is where you're pressing, that position there. Right, often we get to this overhead position and then elbows are working, and then this gets tight and this gets tight. There, lockout. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. Okay, if you need to rest slightly longer, 6 rounds. The last one, handstand. If you can do a full handstand up against the wall, do a full handstand. You're going to kick up, press, hold through the shoulders, press, squeeze the glutes, make sure your bum's not resting against the wall, hips up off the wall, connect the rib cage, squeeze the glutes, point the toes, hold, back down. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. That's Project Inverted session number 3. We're going to do a little bit of WOD prep. We don't have to do too much work here. Okay, the shoulders are warm, we've got the lungs nice and warm there. We just want to go through 1 round of whatever movement you're going to be using for the workout. Make sure that you're comfortable, kind of set a pace, understand what kind of pace you're going to be working at. And then once you know you're comfortable with the movements and your pace, then you can get straight into the workout and you can try and keep a good, steady, consistent pace for those 12 minutes. So the first run, you're going to go for a run, 100-meter run, come back in. If you're not doing a run, you can do 5 10-meter shuttles or 4.5 20-meter shuttles. If you're going to skip, do 50 skips. If you can do line jumps instead of skipping, you can do line jumps, going back and forwards over a line. Okay, just 50 of those. Then we're going to do whatever progression you're going to use. Either you're going to do shoulder plank taps on your knees, or you do shoulder plank taps on your plank position. So you do 10 shoulder plank taps. From there, stomach nice and tight, 10 shoulder plank taps, nice and slow, but focus on stabilizing those shoulders, right? Or if you're not doing shoulder plank taps, you can tuck the tummy in, so I don't see the bum in the air. This may be enough work for your shoulders, but ideally, I want to try and get this body into a nice engaged midline. So I'm not dropping my hips down. I'm keeping my stomach tight, engaging my midline, so I'm feeding this work on the sides. So from plank shoulder taps, we're going to go over to air squats, hips pressing back, nice and deep. Just give yourself, what do we say? 10 air squats, knees press open. Okay, make sure your hips are warm enough that you're getting deep enough for that squat work. And then the last one, we're going to do your plank ankle taps. Ankle taps, stomach nice and tight, shoulder blades together. Pull, 1, 2. Only thing we didn't show on the warm-up earlier was to do a reach through. So if you're not strong enough to do this plank ankle tap, what you're going to do is you're going to press back and you're touching 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're working the obliques. So that is your scaling option for your plank shoulder taps. Right, guys, once you've done that, you're nice and warm. Set your clock, 12 minutes, AMRAP, as many reps and rounds as you can. It's the last workout of the week, unless you're doing tomorrow morning, in which case we see you tomorrow.